Now to the franchise of the week. So this franchise is a franchise called Next Day Access, and so Next Day Access, what they do, let's go pull it up. I thought I had the link pulled up, but I don't. Next Day Access franchise. They provide mobility services and products, which is very, very, very interesting, potentially high demand. So um, they deliver residential and commercial accessibility and mobility products. So think like wheelchair ramps and wheel lifts and stair lifts and safety poles. So all of the things that really help people with disabilities or the elderly. So some pretty cool stuff here in terms of what they do. And uh, they originally started in 1997, which I love to see because before they ever franchised, the business was really established and had been around for a long time. So I love to see that. Um, and they started franchising in 2012. So they've been franchising for 11 years now. They have two corporate owned territories. So they know what it's like to be in the franchisee's shoes because they operate corporate units. They currently have 28 franchise units. They have a pretty low franchise fee, only $23,000 plus a nickel per person in total population in your territory. Okay, so that's going to add up to more than. The royalty, I do like the fact that their royalty is a sliding scale because we're going to pull up the numbers in just a second in their FDD and like what the average sales are. And once you start getting into the millions, paying an 8% royalty could be a little bit tough. So I like the fact that their royalty decreases as your sales and revenue go up. 1% national marketing fee. The total investment ranges from $159,000 to $316,000 to get up and running. Keep in mind, typically the way that this would work is if you're financing with an SBA loan, which is how most people finance starting up their business in the franchise world, is typically you'll put 20% down and then you'd be able to get an SBA loan for the rest. Typically, if that's the route that you're going. So in this case, you would put between 30,000 to 60,000 down and then you would get the SBA loan for the rest of it. In terms of their FDD, let's go ahead and pull that up. I know this is going to be a little bit small, so I got you back. I got the numbers right here. So if we take a look at, and for those of you just joining, by the way, I see that we got some more people on, and I forgot to mute my Slack notification. So let's go ahead and do that. For those of you just jumping on live, drop in the chat what city and state that you're tuning in from. That would be awesome. And if you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. So if we look at their FDD numbers here, so a couple things to look at. All right, this is for franchisees who are open at least 1 year as of December 31st, 2022. So all 19 franchise units were open at least 1 year, operated on a full-time basis. All right. So if they had 28 franchise units, that means that there's 9 who weren't included. So if we look at, let's start at the bottom quartile. Who had 5 franchises, so 5, 5, 5, and 4 franchises. And here we see the total sales of the aggregate of the group. We see the average. Keep in mind, average numbers are a little bit skewed, right? Because average it can be skewed by the top heavy or the top band or low band. So a more accurate representation is the median, which is the one right in the middle. But it's helpful to know both numbers. And then you see the highs and the lows. So in this case, the bottom quartile, the average sales are 326,000, medians 290. The third quartile, right? So again, we're still talking less than 50%, bottom 50% performance. Their average sales 616,000, median 622, pretty similar. Then we start talking about second quartile, so 778 and 775, very, very similar. And then the top quartile, this one is very skewed by the top performing franchisee, which is 9.6 million. That is a whopping 9.6 million. That's huge. So the average is 3.5, but the median using the middle number is 1.85, right? So which is a little bit more representative. And then gross profit, if you're not familiar with that term, gross profit is typically after your cost of goods. So, as an example, the cost of what it takes for them to manufacture those products, you have that cost, those are your cost of goods. And then after that, this is your gross profit, right? So what percentage is your gross profit? The higher percentage your gross profit, the more you have to pay labor and all of the other expenses of the business, and then potentially have a higher net profit, which you can take home. So they definitely show some strong numbers here. um, for such, for low startup cost for between 150 to 330K or so. I think those show some pretty strong numbers overall. Benefits for the franchisee: demand. So, um, more than 30% of Americans over age 65 have a disability, and over 50% of them are over the age of 75. 10,000 baby boomers will turn 65 today and every day for the next 15 years, which is crazy. Um, I pulled up my own stats that there's 76 million baby boomers. They'll make up 20% of the population by 2029. So another benefit is you can start with a small team. So you can start with yourself, one installer, one sales rep, and an office manager, and then um, you can take on the role of sales rep at first if you'd like. It really just depends on your skill set, and then as you grow, you can hire additional salespeople and additional installers. That is one of the huge benefits of service models, is that you can really scale smaller in the beginning. Retail doesn't quite have that benefit like service-based businesses do. Home-based business, you don't need a retail store, you don't need to do a build out. You will need to have a warehouse to hold some small inventory, but everything can be run from your home office, which is pretty cool. As the owner, you won't be sitting behind the desk. You'll be doing sales calls, making referral partner connections, visiting job sites, and overseeing your employees. So you'll get to be active if that's your sort of thing. And they have really, really big territories ranging from 500,000 to 1.5 million in population. Wow. So, yeah, that's pretty significant. So, if you want to see if this franchise is available in your area, our team can do a territory check for you. So I'll drop that link for you here for the page, if you'd like to have a territory check done for you.